All right, troops, gear up and lock in. This is Against All Odds by Jeffery H. Haskell, a Dragon Award finalist for Best Military Sci-Fi of 2022, and right now it's sitting pretty as Aethon's highest-rated military sci-fi title on Amazon. This book also made my list of top 5 MilSF books for beginners. But hey, hype is one thing. Does the book actually deliver? Let's get into it. We open with Lieutenant Jacob T. Grimm, a by-the-book officer just trying to live up to his mother's legacy. He's on a routine patrol mission aboard the Orion, a light cruiser in the Alliance Navy, when everything hits the fan. Grimm spots unknown contacts hiding near an asteroid, and when those ships launch missiles, he does what any officer should. He returns fire. Boom! He wins the engagement. Hero moment, right? Wrong. Turns out those ships were filled with civilians. Children. Whatever the hell they were doing there, it doesn't matter. The headlines don't say hero. They say, the butcher of Pascal. Grimm's naval career doesn't end, but it definitely derails. He's not court-martialed because technically he followed protocol, but the media, the politicians, and most of the Navy want him gone. Still, he refuses to quit, and that makes him the perfect pawn for the ONI, Office of Naval Intelligence, who need a fall guy for a dirty assignment out in the Zuckerbar system, an armpit of space overrun with pirates, smugglers, slavers, and whispers of caliphate agents. The ONI sends Grimm to command the USS Interceptor, a literal scrapyard on life support with a dead captain, missing gravity coil, and a crew that looks like they're one shift away from mutiny. The whole thing is a freaking setup. He's not supposed to fix anything. He's just supposed to be disposable. But guess what? Jacob Grimm doesn't roll over. He gets to work, fixing the ship, earning his crew's respect, and kicking the hornet's nest hard enough that the criminal underworld starts to pay attention. Along the way, he uncovers something way bigger. The Caliphate of Hamid is quietly moving pieces around, using pirate factions and slave rings as cover for something far more dangerous, something that could break the alliance. We're talking black ops, corrupt admirals, and obsessed scientists chasing ancient tech, and one man trying to keep a barely functional warship from falling apart while dodging assassination attempts and engaging in some of the most tactical space combat you'll read in the genre. By the time the final battle hits, Grimm and his once worthless crew are running like a well-oiled machine, and as all hell breaks loose in Zuckerbar, they don't just survive, they turn the tide. Against orders, against the odds. And yeah, you better believe the title earns its name. So let's talk about what Against All Odds actually does really well. And yeah, it's a lot. First off, this book just nails its lead. Jacob Grimm is a fantastic main character. He's not some brooding anti-hero or a Gary Stu. No, he's a guy with a strong moral compass who makes a terrible career-ending mistake while doing exactly what he was trained to do. And that guilt, it hangs over him. But what makes him compelling is that he doesn't whine about it. He doesn't wallow. By God, he gets to work. Whether it's cleaning up a derelict ship or earning the respect of a crew that doesn't want him there, Grimm leads by example. He's got that Captain Picard poise with just a little bit of, like, Captain America. If you dropped him into the Navy and then set his career on fire. And that crew? They're a mess. It's your classic ragtag misfits become a real unit arc. And honestly, it's done really, really well. You've got slackers, rule huggers, lifers just trying to run out the clock, and watching them slowly rally around Grimm and pull together into an actual fighting force is super satisfying. Also, man, the space combat in this book is just awesome. It's technical, it's intense, and it's grounded enough to feel real. When ships open fire, it feels like things matter. Damage control, loss of gravity, the cold vacuum creeping in. It has that submarine warfare and space vibe, which I always love. Now that said, it's not all perfect, my dudes. The first act of the book feels a bit like jumping into the middle of a Navy simulator without the manual. You get slapped in the face with acronyms, protocols, ship names, political factions, ONI. Remember what that stands for? And unless you already speak fluent military sci-fi, you might feel like you're treading zero-G trying to get your bearings. And while the core plot is tight, there are a few subplots that either wander or feel undercooked. There's this scientist character, for example, who clearly knows more than he's letting on, but his arc feels like it's just setting up stuff for later books, rather than adding weight to this one. Same with some of the ONI political scheming. It's cool background flavor, but it can slow things down. Also, yeah, we've got to talk about the world building. On one hand, it's effective. The Caliphate, the Iron Empire, the Alliance, these are all clearly drawn familiar archetypes, but they're also a little too familiar. The Caliphate is basically space Taliban. The Russians are space Russians, huh? And while the book doesn't go full rah-rah patriotism, it definitely leans into some real-world stereotypes that might feel tired or uncomfortable for some readers, you know? And finally, the epilogue. Look, I'm not going to spoil it, but I will say this. It kind of over-explains. Like the book just went out with a bang, and instead of trusting the audience to connect the dots, it's like, let me hold your hand and explain what you just saw. And there we have it, Against All Odds. This book is the first salvo in Jeff Haskell's Grimm's War series. It put him on the map as one of the greatest modern military sci-fi authors. If you love the Honor Harrington series and the Lost Fleet series, you gotta read this, yeah. It's gritty, heartfelt, and unafraid to explore the costs of duty and command. And with Book 8 landing in just 2 weeks, May 20th, and Book 9 confirmed for April 2026, there's never been a better time to jump in. And hey, if you like this review, please like and subscribe for more military sci-fi book reviews. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Burn bright and burn enough.